Welcome to a new video of Knit and Travel with Calypso. I am Calypso and I'm really happy to welcome you to a new video, this time from my hometown, Berlin, from my living room. It's quite a long time ago since I posted a video, just a simple update from my place because in many videos I'm traveling, but I think that for this year I don't have any budget left for traveling, so you will have to be satisfied with videos from Berlin. So yeah, I live in Berlin. On my channel I talk about knitting and traveling. Lately I've been posting videos about Japan and also about Mexico on my channel here. I do have another channel in German. If you would like to have more content, then I invite you to watch my channel in German with subtitles, where I have more videos about Japan in more detail. Although I have presented all the yarn shops I've been to on this channel in English, but on my channel in German, we also, Jonathan and we also visit temples and nature and cultural places in Japan, and we talk about the yarn shops that we visited at the same time, and I insert footage. So the videos are really cool because you get an insight into Japanese culture and Japanese places. And at the same time, we talk about knitting and show the yarn shops. So that's really a cool concept, I think. I really like how the videos turn out. And we also take you on our adventures in Japan. On this channel here in English, I posted 3 videos. I think it was 3 videos about Mexico, because around Easter we traveled to Mexico. Maybe some of you know, but I'm Mexican and German. So that's why I travel to Mexico on a regular basis. At least I try to, if my budget allows. And yes, and in Mexico we have a lot of artisans, textile artisans. So I like to interview them and to show Mexican culture through textile artisans and Mexican traditions through textile artisans. So that's something I really enjoy doing, interviewing experts in Mexican crafts, textile crafts. A lot of it is embroidery and weaving and working with wool. On this trip I also bought some yarn from Teotitlán del Valle. Teotitlán del Valle is a village in Oaxaca. Oaxaca is one of the 32 states of Mexico, and Oaxaca is located on the Pacific side in the south. And in Teotitlán del Valle, this is a village that basically lives off of weaving, especially weaving carpets and rugs, but they do the whole process from scratch. So they spin their own yarn, such as this one. They also dye it with natural colors, so you can do workshops about natural dyeing in Teotitlán del Valle. That's really, really cool. And then they weave their carpets and rugs, and I've shown in the videos what we have bought. Handmade. We bought a lot of clothes, especially Jonathan reinvented himself with Mexican clothes because I already have so many. And we also bought like more home decor stuff, for example, made out of wool. And I got myself these 2 skeins of hand-dyed wool with natural colors. I think these colors are really nice. This is a 1-ply yarn, so I will probably ply it with something else. I'm not sure now because I have so many spinning projects and I rarely have time to spin or work on my spinning wheel. And yes, but that's kind of the idea, to ply this with some handspun yarn that I make. Maybe that would be cool because this is 1-ply and I would prefer to have at least a 2-ply or 3-ply yarn. But this is a really pretty yarn and also a nice souvenir from Oaxaca. So check these videos out about our trip to Mexico, and you can get an insight into Oaxaca especially, and crafts, textile crafts in Oaxaca. At the moment I am wearing a design of mine. So this is new and at the same time not new, because I knitted the original version 2 years ago. So this is the original version, and I knitted this one lately, so this year. And I produced a whole knitting tutorial, video tutorial for this design. This design is called Intarsia Moonrise. I wasn't sure if I wanted to call it Intarsia Moonrise or Sunrise. I chose Moonrise in the end, maybe because of this Intarsia here that reminded me more of a moonrise than a sunrise. So I chose that name. And this is a really simple pattern. There will be a full video tutorial in 2 parts, so really extensive, where I go into detail on how to knit this one. The video tutorial is in German, so I will post it on my German channel, but you can still watch it with subtitles. Yeah, this will certainly help you make this. The pattern will be available on Ravelry and on my website in English, German, and French. So you can use the video tutorials and also the pattern, because in the video tutorial I explain how to knit this one, this blue version. This is a size 2, so this is my size, and also with this gauge, because this one obviously has a different gauge. So this one has a different gauge because I made this approximately 2 years ago and I didn't write down which needle size I used. So I believe for this one I used 3.5 or maybe even 4 millimeter needles, and I use the yarn Ulysse from Derichum Natura. So this is a French yarn, so very local for French people and also rather local for German people. So this is made in France. This is a really, really nice yarn. I really recommend it. It's 100% wool. At the same time, it's super breathable. So I like to wear this during summer. And if you knit it with a little bit more ease, then you can, for example, also wear it in winter and do some layering. So yeah, this yarn is really great. I really recommend it. Also, it's suitable for beginners because it doesn't split easily when you knit. Usually it's a very round yarn and nicely plied, so it's rather unlikely that you split it with your knitting needles while knitting. So this is beginner-friendly yarn. And this one I knitted with a bigger needle than this one. I didn't remember the needle size, so this time I went for a 3 millimeter needle, and I'm really relieved that it fits, because 2 years ago I was also a little bit slimmer because I started to do strength training with weights 1 year ago. So I have gained some muscle, so I'm bigger. And this one still fits very well because it has a lot of ease. But for this one, I was a little bit, hopefully it will fit, and it fits perfectly. So really, it's just the perfect size. It's not too small, it's not too big, it's really nicely fitted. It's awesome, so I'm really happy about that. And that's maybe an invitation or an encouragement for you to try out also playing with different needle sizes and gauges. So the pattern will be available in 9 sizes, and you have all the resources to make it, because you'll have all the video tutorials on my German channel and you can watch them with subtitles. So the video tutorial of this shirt is in 2 parts, so it's really very detailed, and it's for this size number 2. And I also give you the stitch counts. So you could basically knit this one also only with the videos, but if you want to have it more detailed and you would like to have the written pattern and also knit a different size, then I recommend you buy the pattern on Ravelry or on my website. And this is also like an opportunity to practice gauge or to play with gauge, because you could either knit a bigger size, for example, if you want more ease, or you can play with the needle sizes and knit your size, but with a bigger needle and get a little bit more ease. So this pattern is totally suitable for beginners because it doesn't have seams. I also, when I made this version here, I recorded a full tutorial, very detailed, on how to make set-in sleeves with German short rows. So you pick up stitches around the armhole and you knit your sleeve with German short drawers. So this is really easy. This tutorial has like 10,000 clicks. It's in German, but you can watch it with subtitles. So you're really well prepared to make this design. As a beginner, you will learn new techniques such as intarsia, which I show first on a swatch and then also on the bigger, on the main shirt, and casting on, Italian cast on, Italian cast off, how to pick up stitches, etc. So you will have new techniques, but techniques that are suitable for beginners because I show them in a very simple way. So, and it doesn't have seams, it's in one piece, and you join here in the front with this fake button band. So this is a really fun project and you can, for example, make it in different colors, so, and pimp it a little bit, so that's cool. You don't have to do the color distribution that way, so you can do, for example, here a totally different color. And yeah, I really like this blue. This is a really strong blue color that I like, so that's really cool. So this is what I'm looking for at the moment. Most I'm working on this. So the pattern is at the moment in tech editing and proofreading. So it's all my patterns are professionally tech edited and proofread, and usually they are also a test knitted before I publish them. But here is my hot take, because I think that this is a very high expectation from independent designers like me. So basically this is my passion. I think that my channel is super niche. So, and I do not fit into the criteria that the algorithm pushes a lot. So I'm not blonde, I don't have blue eyes. Yeah, but and I don't do the clickbait content, you know? So now I have some unpopular opinions because this is something I really want to talk about, but I don't do the clickbait video content. So my content is really authentic. It's just really about me, and it's I'm nothing's fake. So I'm not saying that the people are fake, but I'm not pushing it, you know. I'm just really presenting what I'm really doing and not searching extra attention, which is also totally fine if you do it. It's not a hidden critique towards anyone. So I don't fit in the frame that the algorithm likes most. So my videos do not get pushed a lot by the algorithm. And what I wanted to say is that it is really a high expectation to have all patterns of independent designers test knitted, because if I start the test knitting now, the test knitting will be finished in autumn, but I want to publish this now because this is obviously a summer t-shirt, so I don't have time to do the test knitting now. Of course I could have started earlier, but I mean I have a normal job, you know. So basically I do not earn a lot of I earn basically very little from this hobby. So my hobby finances itself, and also the tech editing has a cost because an external different person does it, because I had to outsource this because I don't have time to do it. So I outsource it also for quality standard reasons. And yeah, so I have to pay the tech editor. And the tech editor, I pay them, not with the revenues that I get from YouTube, because this channel here is obviously not monetized yet. And I pay them with pattern translations I do. So I do knitting pattern translations for other designers, knitting designers. So if you want your pattern to be translated, you can reach out to me. I translate in English, French, German, Spanish mainly, in all combinations. And because I grew up with all these languages, so I'm proficient in all of them to translate. This is where I earn a little bit of money to basically finance my lifestyle. Just to live. Really, this is really an extra that I need to earn for my living costs, and also partly to finance the tech editor. And I don't always have a knitting pattern or knitting designer customers that need their patterns translated. So at the moment I have a few, but sometimes I don't have translations at all to make. So this is where I get a little bit of revenue that allows me to push the boundaries, you know? I mean, of course, it's ideal to have all your patterns test knitted, and I will do a test knit. So if you want to test knit this design, send me an email or leave a comment with your contact, and you can test knit this, but the test knitting will happen at the same time after I publish it and not beforehand. Simply because I don't have the resources to do it, and I think that it's really difficult to expect that from every independent designer to do that. It takes a lot of time, a lot of management of the test knitters, and of course it's also kind of a publicity, because the test knitters, they publish their finished projects, and when you publish your patterns there are already some projects and some pictures out there, so that's really good. But yeah, I have to assess what is feasible for me, and this time it's not feasible for me to do a test knitting before I publish the pattern, so this time it will happen at the same time. So if you would like to test knit this pattern, then please reach out. Also, this is another unpopular opinion maybe, I think that this relationship between test knitter and designer is a little bit unbalanced, because the test knitter is kind of doing a job. Of course, they receive the pattern for free, yeah, but they still have to pay for the yarn, for all the other supplies themselves, and they also put their time into it. Of course, they get to keep the garment as well. They give me feedback and they post a few pictures, and that's it. But yeah, there has been some controversy about should we pay test knitters. Probably yes, we should, or we should at least provide them the yarn to make the test, but I cannot afford that. So that's just impossible to provide the test knitters with the yarn. And maybe if I was a really big content creator with 500,000 followers, then yarn companies would agree to do to provide the yarn maybe for test knitters, or I could pay test knitters, etc. So that would be an option in that case. But I'm not there, and I don't think I will be there, maybe, but it's something I cannot predict if I will get there someday. So I think this is not a very fair relationship. Yeah, test knitters should get like some kind of reward other than just getting to keep the garment and having the pattern. I think that's very little in comparison to all the hours they put into that work. So yeah, I'm a little bit biased or undecided about that. Leave your opinion in the comments about it. So this time you can test knit the pattern. So send me an email if you would like to test knit this, and you will simply be knitting at the same time as others and give me a feedback. So of course the spots for test knitting are limited, and yeah, so reach out if you want to help me out on that. Next, I have my current work in progress, which is this one. This is the Carlisle sweater. This is a sweater with a saddle shoulder. I have already knitted this one once, but I was really unhappy with the yarn. I think I'm really good at choosing yarns, because I am never disappointed by the yarn I buy. It has happened in my almost 25 years of knitting, maybe twice, that I was unhappy with the yarn that I bought. So that's really good, but there's always some exceptions. So I made this one, I don't know, 2-3 years ago with the yarn, and that really disappointed me. So I wanted to knit this a second time anyways, because I really liked the pattern of the Carlisle pullover with the saddle shoulder. This is a really nice pattern to just shut your mind down and do some mindless knitting. And yeah, I've really come forward a lot. This has a double hem here on the collar, and probably I will also do that on the sleeves. I started this in February and I'm still knitting on this, and now it's June. So somehow I'm happy that it's taking very long, because I was knitting this one at the same time. And also I made a hat knitting tutorial for the Antonia hat, also on my German channel. So I knitted some other things. This was really my turn off my mind project. So it's okay that it's taking a while. And also it's okay that it's taking a while, because I don't want to fall into the trap of knitting and producing so many garments, because my closet is full anyway already. I've been knitting for so many years, my closet is exploding. So I need a second closet, to be honest, like for real. So it's good that it's taking a while. And also I don't want to fall into this productivity trap where you have to stay relevant and finish a new garment every 2 weeks to be able to show it on your YouTube channel or on your social medias. This is totally against the philosophy of knitting, because knitting is slow. So the craft in itself is slow. It's supposed to slow you down. I mean, before industrialization, people lived off that. But now this is really a hobby you can take advantage of to slow down. So for me, it's counterproductive if I'm trying to knit and finish a garment every 2 weeks. It doesn't make sense. And it's not fun either. So to be pushing yourself like that. And I'm already like an expert knitter, so you can give me anything. I will manage to knit it, to knit this. So I understand if you're a new knitter maybe, and you're super excited and super avid about learning a lot, that you start knitting and you just knitting all the time, and you finish a new project maybe every month. That's totally cool. But I'm at a stage where I don't do that anymore, and I think that's good. So leave it in the comments if you think it too, if you have the same thought process. As I'm really enjoying making this. I'm knitting one sleeve at the moment, and so this is really boring to knit sleeves. I mean, it's just a tube and stockinette stitch, and then I have to do the other side, but it's almost finished, and I think it's turned out really nice. I think I didn't make mistakes at all in this pattern, which is really easy, but at the same time, when you shut off your mind, that's when you make mistakes. So yeah, I think it's perfect. I really like it. The yarn is Erica Knight yarn, 100% wool. I have one more skein, so I can finish it for sure. Yeah, so I have yarn left to make an accessory, but I don't like to make, for example, this has also a big collar. And so I don't need to make a scarf or something. So I'm not sure which kind of accessory I could make for this, or I make something totally different. But it's only 100 grams, so I should combine it with something else. And I cannot imagine to make a hat because I don't like white hats. What do you think about white hats? But hats in this color always reminds me of something medical, although doctors do not wear white hats. That would look a bit weird or funny. But yeah, I always think of white hats. I don't know, I don't like white hats. What else could I make with this? So leave it in the comments if you have ideas for accessories to make this, to use this yarn. Yeah, let me know. So this is my current mindless project that I'm really enjoying, and I can only recommend the pattern. Also, if you're new to saddle shoulder construction from top down, that's a really good option to go for. Next, I want to show you the next pattern that I will be working on. It's the Advent sweater. So the Advent sweater is a sweater I knitted last winter with my favorite knitting friend Jonathan. He made a version in his size and a little bit different colors. So this is also saddle shoulder sweater with a double collar. So this is a really cool element that you knit in, that you add at the end. And so you can choose, if you don't like to have high collars like this, you can also choose not to add this part here, and just leave it with one color, one layer of the color. Yeah, so I think the color distribution is really cool, and it's really easy to make. Also saddle shoulder from the top down, and yeah, the body is just in the round stockinette stitch. So Jonathan and I did upload almost one reel per day or one short per day on my German YouTube channel, where we were talking about our progress. So if you have a coup de foudre, a heart, if you just fell in love with this now, then you can head to the German channel and watch all the shorts with subtitles, and probably knit it if you're an advanced person and you want to knit this in my size or in Jonathan's size. Then if you watch the reels and you're an advanced knitter, an expert knitter, you have some practice, or you just want to go on an adventure, then you will probably be able to knit this only with the shorts. Or you can wait until I finish writing the pattern. And for this one, I will do a regular test knitting, so before I publish the pattern. So this will be published in autumn for sure. And I'm really looking forward to this one because it was very popular in my video about where I went to interview hand dyers at the Berlin Yarn Festival in January. I was wearing this and it was really popular. So many people wanted to make this in the comments. They really liked it. So the pattern will be published for this winter now. But now summer is starting, so let's enjoy summer first. And yeah, let's enjoy summer first by showing you my summer designs that I really want to encourage you to try out and knit. So this, for example, is the cerise top. So this is probably my most popular design. It has some really easy lace here on the side and some twisted ribbing here. It is really, you can show off your curves with this one, and I really like it. So you can knit to different sizes. The pattern includes 5 sizes. I think this one has 5 sizes or 9. Most of my patterns have 9 and 1 or 2 only have 5. Yeah, so this is the cerise top. It's knitted from the top down. So first it's knitted flat until the armholes, and from the armholes downwards it's knitted in the round. So you can also choose to make it longer. This one's a little bit cropped, but if you want to have it longer and you don't like to show your belly button, you can easily make it longer by just keeping on knitting. So this is the favorite, I think my most sold pattern. And next I have the lemon top, which is the same construction but with a different lace pattern, and also the finishing is a little bit different because here at the bottom I have an I-cord, and just like all the other summer tops, the finishings here on the armhole and the neck is a I-cord. And I also have the top maracuya that I published last year. I will insert a picture because it's not here at the moment. So this is the top that I published last summer. And you can also have all the patterns at once by getting the Fruity Knitting Summer Top Collection, which is available on Ravelry and on my website. And also I have this really cute top. This is the Margarita top with a really nice lace design here on the side and also I-cord finishings. This one is a little bit more, has more ease. It's not as fitted as the other ones. And this was a collaboration with Manos del Uruguay. So this is really nice yarn as well. And also has a lace detail here on the neck, on the back neck. So this is a really cute pattern as well. And I really like to wear the cerise top together with my mariposa cardigan. So this is also a summer piece, spring summer piece. I think this is your second favorite design of mine. This is also suited for beginners. You can knit it top down in flat, back and forth, because you can open it here in the front. It's a cardigan. You separate the sleeves and the body and you knit everything in the round. So this is super easy, a basic one, but still with very nice garter ridge details. So I really like this one, and I like to wear these a lot together, the mariposa cardigan with a knit top. I will insert a picture of me wearing these together. So I want to encourage you to make my summer designs. And I think that's it for the moment. I wanted to ask you for a few tips maybe, because when I was younger, so I've been knitting for almost 25 years, and before the social media, maybe let's go back into 2016, like 10 years ago, when I first opened up Instagram, but nobody knew what would happen with Instagram and it was not interesting. So it was like, I was so knitting addict that I was studying, and after 30 minutes of studying, or maybe 1 hour, oh, let's take a break, and my knitting was sitting there and just laughing at me like, make me, knit some stitches, make some rows, and whispering like, you know. So every time I took a break from whatever I was doing, working or studying, whatever, I would immediately go and get my knitting and knit a few rounds. So I was totally knitting addict. I'm still knitting addict, I would say. I mean, knitting is just a part in my life that will never go away. It's like I'm married to knitting, something like that. So it will never go away. That I'm sure. It will always be part of my life. But this phone, this Instagram, of course, I work a lot with social media, so that's kind of part of my work. But it has become easier for me to pick up the phone and just do some doom scrolling. Of course, doing this is less complex than knitting, for sure. The movement is just this, and you can knit, and you can lie there and scroll and just with your tongue out like this, you know. But just chill, and yeah. But this is so frustrating for me, because I used to be like, oh, I have 2 minutes in between something, and I would grab my knitting. Now I go and grab my phone, and this is super frustrating for me. Sometimes I also carry my knitting with me all day long because I have to work and go there and here and do stuff, and in between I just go on my phone and watch the likes and the stuff, and let's post something, and did I get some messages and all of that. And this is super frustrating. So if you have some tips, I already have like this app to restrain your consumption of social media, but I always jump past. I always jump past. So I'm really addicted. Yeah, leave me some tips if you also suffer from that. Leave a few tips in the comments what I could do to make my knitting, like, I want this to be stronger than everything else. Yes, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm planning to make a video tutorial for the Antonia head in English as well here on this channel, and I will make the Antonia head this time with 3 colors instead of 2. On the German channel you find the tutorial for the Antonia head with 2 colors, and I'm planning to make it with 3 colors in English on this channel. So this will be in autumn. Before that, I'm sure I will see you again here on this channel with some updates or a cool video about some trip or something that I am doing. So stay tuned, leave a subscribe, leave a comment, and see you soon. Bye!